Well, we file bankruptcy cases under the United States Bankruptcy Code, which is a federal statute, and it's divided up into chapters. The most complicated chapter is Chapter 11, and the big picture goal in a Chapter 11 is to reorganize the debtor, restructure the debts, and get a plan of reorganization confirmed by the court that makes the debts manageable and can be spread out over a long period of time. As far as who can file, well, on one level, pretty much anybody can file. In order to understand, though, what's really at work here, it helps to think of Chapter 11 as having three different kinds of Chapter 11. The first is what I refer to as the classical business Chapter 11. And this is really what the original Chapter 11 was designed to do, to have businesses reorganize their debts. Some of the debts get wiped out, some get converted to stock, some assets may be sold to pay debts, and the debts are put into different classes. Now, that was the law for quite some time, and then Congress made it possible for individuals and married couples to file for Chapter 11. The reason that an individual or a married couple might file for Chapter 11, after all, it's a very complicated chapter, is because their income is too high to qualify for a Chapter 7 liquidation where debts are just erased, and their debts are too high in a way that can be made precise in the Bankruptcy Code to qualify for Chapter 13, which is sort of a Chapter 11 light. So those are the two main types of Chapter 11. But then this year, 2020, in February, a new portion of Chapter 11, what's called Subchapter 5 of Chapter 11, was enacted, and it's called the Small Business Reorganization Act. And if a debtor qualifies to file under Subchapter 5, the process is quite streamlined. And one of the great benefits is that the plan can be confirmed over the objection of all the creditors. So one of the big hurdles in a classical Chapter 11 is to get the creditors on board. The creditors get to vote on the plan of reorganization. And if you can get the creditors to vote in favor of it, again, in a way that can be made precise, then the judge will confirm the plan. But if you can't, then you're just out of luck. But with Subchapter 5, one of the great benefits is that you can get the plan confirmed even if none of the creditors vote in favor of the plan. So to summarize, there are three basic types of Chapter 11. There's the individual and married couple Chapter 11, there's the classical business Chapter 11, and then there's the Small Business Reorganization Act Chapter 11. And by the way, if an individual or a married couple has a business, then even if they file an individual Chapter 11 under Subchapter 5, they can still do it under the Small Business Reorganization Act. So there's a lot to Chapter 11. This was simply to answer those two questions